Hello, everyone. Hey, Classy Career Girl Network. It's Anna Runyon here. I'm the founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, and I'm here to talk about the Get Unstuck Workshop and talk about some of the questions you guys had. Really, what I'm going to do today is not have that happen because then you guys can't hear me. So really what I want to do today is I want to kind of give you a recap of the workshop because I've heard a lot of you guys have not had time to watch the videos. So that's totally fine. I'm going to recap them today, and they will be up, I think, for another week. So you have another week to watch them, but we will have to take them down eventually. So make sure, I want to do everything I can to push you to watch them because we've had a lot of people say that they're binge watching. So they're watching like all of them together, which is an awesome idea. So whatever you can do to watch them, because it's going to help you. It could change your life. You just never know. And it's all free. And grab the workbooks and the downloads and the PDFs too. For sure, do that. So before we start, I need your tips. I need your advice. There is a dog. One of my neighbor's dogs is always barking whenever I go on Facebook Live. I swear they know my schedule of when the owner leaves, and the two dogs just go crazy. And it's like it drives me nuts. So tell me in the comments what I should do. How should I handle this? What do you do about your neighbor's dog that's barking? I've already left one nice little note. How do I stop this? So that's just a side note. If you have any tips or advice about a neighbor's dog, you can tell I'm like freaking out. Right before this went on, I was like texting John. I was like 15 minutes to go time, and like they start barking. Like, how do they know this? So I think they've stopped. So if they start again, I will put my headphones on so you guys don't have to hear it, and only I have to hear it because it just drives me nuts. So anyways, let's get started. Let me know who's here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, whether you're watching with us on Zoom or you're watching with us in our Facebook group and our Classy Career Girl Network, or even, we're putting this on the podcast. We're also putting it on YouTube. So wherever you're watching, just, write a comment below and let us know you're watching with us, and let us know if you have any questions. Crystal's here. Hey, Crystal. Awesome. Thanks for chatting with us. I love that we've opened up the Zoom opportunity too, because not everyone can be on Facebook or is on Facebook. So Zoom is also an option to watch it through Zoom. Okay, so we're gonna start off. I'm gonna share a couple stories of myself getting unstuck, because I thought, the workshop's great. It's a ton of content, right? But I really love to kind of put it into perspective of real life, right? So there's been a lot of teaching, there's been a lot of formulas and blueprints and systems and all that stuff. But how does it apply to real life? How has it applied to my life? Later on next week, we'll be talking about how it's applied to like other women's lives who've actually implemented all the stuff that's from the workshop. But today, one of the things that I really want to cover is the effect of other people on your career goals and your career dreams, and how it can impact you positively or negatively. And so I have a couple of examples of that I wanted to share today because they reminded me of so much of this Get Unstuck workshop. The first one that reminded me of the workshop was when I was in college. Like, some of you guys are still in college or you're newly graduates. This was my story when I was in college. This was a while ago. I'm not going to date myself, but I feel like a professor or a counselor would never say this to someone right now, which makes me feel really old, but maybe they still would say something like this. Let me tell you what he told me. So he was my counselor. He was also my professor. And he told me when I was asking him, like, I went to college and I didn't really know what I wanted to be or do. And I was undeclared. My major was undeclared through my junior year of college. I just took all these GEs, and I just, it's funny, I do what I do now because I had no idea myself what was this life that I was supposed to do? What was this career? I got great grades. I was on the tennis team. Like, I did well in school. I was successful, but I just had no idea what I wanted to be. And my counselor told me, this was a man, he told me that his recommendation for me as a woman was to because I wanted to get my MBA. Like, I was driven, right? Like, I wanted to be successful. I just didn't know what that would be. And he told me that I should I should work a little bit, I should have a baby, and then I should get my MBA and worry about my career. Like after I have a baby, after I have a child, after the child grows a little, then I can go back into the workforce. Then I could get an MBA. It wouldn't be smart to get an MBA like anytime soon. Early on in your career, you should wait till later on. So obviously, at the time, I can't remember how I felt. I remember years after that thinking about that conversation of what if I would have listened to him? Like, what if I didn't, like, eventually I did get my MBA and before I had kids, and like, you can't count on kids happening. You can't plan kids, right? Like that's something I've learned. You can't plan when you're going to have children and how that fits into your career because we're not in control of the timing. And if I would have taken his advice, I wouldn't have done any of my goals and my dreams. And I think that's one point I wanted to make clear tonight. If we listen to what everyone else says and we don't actually do what we want and what's right path for us, we're not going to discover our purpose and our calling, and we're not going to live like what we're born to be, and we're not going to have that fulfillment that we can have if we figure out what that dream career is, what that thing is we're supposed to be doing. So that was one example for you guys of this workshop, and actually a lot of you guys are having these light bulbs and figuring things out. So now it's taking action with that. And a lot of you guys are going to be scared about what other people are going to think and what your parents are going to think, or your professors or your guidance counselor like I was. But you can't always listen to exactly what they say, right? The other story, same professor, actually. I was in his economics class and still struggling. Like he could see I was undeclared as a junior. Like he's like, come on, you got to pick a major here. And was just still like enjoying college and doing great, but just no idea what I was going to do in 2 years when I had to graduate. And I took his class and I got I think I got an like A or A- in his economics class, which was one of the hardest classes in the school. And I went to him and he's like, we got to pick you a major. You did great in my class. You did great in economics. So why don't you go into finance? And that was a situation where I did take his advice. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm good at it. I guess I get A's in the class. So that's the direction I'm going to head. My dad's also a day trader. He's in finance. I kind of grew up in that whole world with him trading stocks. So I was like, well, my dad did it. And now my professor's telling me I'd be good at it. So I guess that's what I should do. And I listened to him, which turned out, it was fine that I listened to him. And I went into finance. I got a job in finance, did a lot of project management, kind of went that direction, did kind of the same as school where I got raises, I got promotions, I did well, but I was never truly happy. I was never truly fulfilled, even though I was doing great work. I'm good at finance, but I hate it. I do not like it whatsoever. I can say that now because I got out of it. But my fulfillment comes when I was teaching finance or mentoring others in finance. I was like, when I was teaching others, that's where I started to discover, okay, this is what I want to do. I don't actually want to do pivot tables and Excel and analysis and budgets and oh my goodness, like that's not what fulfills me. So another just example of it's good to get outside feedback. It's good to ask people, what do you think I'm good at? Which we totally recommend in Love Your Career Formula. Like, that's something we definitely recommend. But you also have to get lots of feedback and input and see what your favorite strengths and skills are too. So just because you're good at something and you've been doing it for a long time, we have a lot of people in here who've had, careers for 20 years doing the same thing. You're good at it, but it just might not be your favorite thing to do. The fulfilling career that you want to have. So you need to evaluate that. You need to do all that stuff in that first phase of Love Your Career Formula, the explorer phase, figuring out your calling, your purpose, prep school, Dream Career Launchpad, like that beginning section of exploration. That's what you need to focus on. to really figure out what that ideal career fit is for you, instead of what you just got a good grade in. My last story of my Get Unstuck journey, and listening to outside influences, because I kind of wanted to keep it on that topic tonight. My last story of listening to other people's influences and how that could affect your career is when when John and I decided to, well, first I quit my job after maternity leave to grow the business. I had already been growing the blog and had clients in the business, but after maternity leave is when I said adios, and I was like, I'm going to do this full time, which was, for my parents, it was a big deal, because they didn't really understand how I was making an income with blogging. They just thought I just blogged. And so they didn't understand. But it was okay. Like, okay, just Anna's quitting her job, but John still has this job and they have benefits and they're going to be okay. And then 3 months later, we went to my parents and we told them, oh, John's quitting his job too. And that was another point in my life where we had to do what was right for us. We had to talk, John and I had to talk and be like, okay, our parents do not agree with our decision, like, whatsoever. They were not very supportive. My dad said, what if the internet breaks? And I said, Dad, that's a chance we're going to have to take. The internet breaks. Like, everyone is in trouble if the internet breaks. And that was a time where I just had to do what was best for me. And there's nothing like I can tell you, because I know this is hard. I know a lot of people are gonna like have to break free from the norm, right? You're not doing what everyone else is doing. You might have to do something different, or make a little curve, or explore something else that maybe no one even knows you love doing. And putting that out there is really scary, but it also just comes with evaluating, like, okay, this is the best choice for me to make right now, even though other people don't necessarily agree with it. And now, now it's easy to show my dad, like, this was the right choice, and he's very supportive now, of course. But at the time, it was definitely like, it's hard to do that when other people don't see what you see. You can show them numbers and data and projections all you want, which I highly recommend, or tell them, like, how you're going to make an income with whatever change you're going to make. But sometimes you just have to make that leap and surround yourself. That's why we have this Facebook group. That's why we have the Classy Career Girl Network. And I love seeing all your questions coming in, because sometimes you just have to get around a different group of people that are going to support you. So those are my stories. I wanted to also give you a quick overview, a recap of the workshop. If you haven't signed up yet, you want to go to www.classycareergirl.com/getunstuck to get the workshop and to get the 3 videos and all the workbooks and the downloads. It's all free, so go check it out. Go grab it before it's gone. And so the first video, we talked a lot about how the online job search is changing, how everything is changing right now, and how the 3 hiring trends that you really need to know if you are job searching. The first one was that online job searching is becoming harder. It's not like if you were job searching 5 to 10 years ago. Things have completely changed. It's becoming harder to online job search now because of how many other applicants there are, because the whole because the whole online world, everyone is more online. It's hard to get through the applicant tracking system to get your application in front of a manager. The second hiring trend was culture, and companies are hiring so much more on culture. They want people that fit in with their culture more. And that's a huge, huge, huge thing that they're looking for. So you want to have evaluated what type of culture you want when you're job searching, because that's going to be something they're going to be looking for in an interview. It's not just, okay, here's their resume. They have all these resumes with people with the same skills and experiences, but one of you is going to fit in with their culture. It's going to be someone they want to work with. Especially with how many like startups and different types of companies are rising above the old mainstream companies that have always been there. So it's just a very different employment world right now. The other thing is the prevalence of social media, how you can find a job on social media. And in video one of the workshop, I walked through the socially hired system and told you exactly what I would do if I was job searching right now. Video two, we talked about the biggest roadblocks for your career change. One of them was fear. We kind of talked about that tonight. Being scared, what other people are going to think. And so I kind of gave you some tips on how I've gotten over that in the video, as well as time. Time is a really big roadblock, probably standing in all of our way, right? There's only limited amounts of time, and we have other things in our lives that are really important. Like, I hung out with my daughter today. I took her to ballet class, and my husband's like, I can take her. And I was like, no, like, I love watching my daughter for an hour do ballet. It is the, like, I don't want to be anywhere else, because it is the cutest thing in the world. She like closes her eyes and like pretends she's a ballerina. She already thinks she's a ballerina, and she doesn't need dance class because she knows she's already a ballerina. And it's just this cutest thing, and I'm like, that's on my calendar. I'm not missing that ballet class, because she's not going to be 3 forever, and she's just the cutest thing right now taking ballet. So I don't know where I came from that. Oh yeah, I was talking about time, how we have limited amounts of time, and how we have priorities, and those are our priorities, and we can't take away, like, I'm not taking away from that time that I'm spending with my daughter watching her do ballet. So it's, how do we find the other times to make the career change, to do the job search or start your business, and planning that out. And I gave some tips on that in the video as well. And then the last roadblock is direction. Like, a lot of you guys have no idea what you want to be when you grow up. And that's perfectly fine and perfectly normal. And you change as you age and grow as well, like the direction and what you want to do. And what makes you happy and fulfilled, and like your values change as well when life happens and other things happen, and you make changes for that. And in video two, I also went over my 7-step Get Unstuck system, which is kind of what I've been teaching for the last 7 years. I taught the same exact system in my very first online course. It was called the Get Unstuck Bootcamp in 2011. And so this workshop means so much to me, because it's kind of like my revival of the system, and like nothing has changed. It's the foundation. It doesn't matter what industry you are in, or what type of job you want, or where you're at right now, the system can work for you. So make sure under video 2, there's a PDF of the 7-step Get Unstuck system that spells unstuck. So I want you to grab that and download that. Some people are already hanging it up in their office, which is awesome. Video 3 came out yesterday, and in video 3 we went over the blueprint, the Love Your Career Formula blueprint, and that teaches you the 3 phases of your entire career. So the first phase is that explorer phase, which we've talked about, like really figuring out what you should be when you grow up, what that dream career is, and how you determine that. And then once you know what that dream career is, then it's moving on to job searcher phase, which then we get out the LinkedIn, the resumes, the interviewing, salary negotiation, all that fun stuff. But we don't do that until we know what your ideal career is in that phase 1 explore phase. And then once you have that dream job, like, it's not the end. And then, because you graduate then into the leadership phase, and that's really where you make those first 90 days in your job really, really count. And also where you grow and get ahead and get promoted and raises and build your team and build your mentors around you and your network. And so there's always room to grow, and there's always more impact that you can make in your career wherever you work. And so there's just a lot of exciting opportunities that can happen when you do have when you're in that leadership phase. And we've had some people who cycle through the phases again. I would say this happened to me. Like, I got to the leadership phase in my prior career as a consultant. I spent 8 years at a top consulting firm, and I got to the leadership phase, and then I realized, okay, well, this was my first career, and now I'm going to go back to the explorer phase, and now I'm going to start figuring out what my next career is. What do I want to do next, given I have this experience and these skills, but I felt like I had more potential. I felt like I could do something else with my career and my work and myself. So I went back to the explore phase and started from scratch. So it is kind of like a cycle, and there's nothing wrong with cycling through that. So that's phase 3. Make sure you grab the blueprint that's coming, that's down, that you can download below that. So what's next? Video 4 comes out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is so exciting. We're gonna probably be up kind of late tonight, putting a lot of last minute touches. Like I said, I spent the day with my daughter. I went to ballet, so now it's nighttime and she's gonna go to sleep here soon so that we can actually do our work. And so we'll be up, we're preparing, we're getting things ready. But video 4 is exciting. It's when we're gonna actually tell you how you can make this Get Unstuck blueprint happen, how you can make that career fulfillment blueprint happen, working with us and working with me, and getting that guidance as you move through with a supportive community that's helping you along the way. So that door's open to Love Your Career Formula at 9 a.m. Pacific. There is going to be an opening day bonus as well, which is going to be really exciting. That's what I need to work on tonight. See, I'm giving you all the behind the scenes. Like nothing, we might appear that everything is, working and everything is perfect, but like behind the scenes, we're staying up late and making things happen for you guys. So it's the best it can be. So that's going to come tomorrow. That's really how you can, the video is going to talk about really how you can take what you've learned in these first 3 videos and now move forward. Now, some people, this workshop will be enough for some people to actually go and run and take action and move forward. And other people will want that guidance and support of myself, our community manager, Jen, who's amazing, helping you take what you've learned in this workshop and actually moving forward with it. And so if that's you, if you're looking for, kind of that guidance, that step-by-step, that hand-holding, we're here for you, and we'll be telling you more about that at 9 a.m. Pacific is when you should get the email. I'll also put a post up in our Facebook group that has more information about that as well. So we did have one question. If you guys have any questions about your career, I know it looks like Crystal is having some issues with the Zoom, so she's going to move over to Facebook Live. That's awesome. So yeah, so wherever you're listening, wherever you are, please comment if you have any questions. The one question that did come up about the Get Unstuck workshop was so Stephanie asked, thanks for your question, Stephanie. She asked, where is the entrepreneur assessment and the business reality assessment? So if you have been following the workshop, this means she has been watching those videos and taking notes and downloading the PDFs because that is part of our Get Unstuck system, is the entrepreneur assessment, figuring out if you have an entrepreneurial personality. And then also figuring out if the type of business that you want to start can be possible. Like, can it be a reality? Is your idea going to actually grow a business? And so the good news is that both of those assessments are in Love Your Career Formula, which opens tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, like I said. But I did share, Stephanie, I shared a blog post because you guys know at Classy Career Girl, we have a blog for everything. We have a blog post for everything. And so I did share a blog post with you on the Facebook group, but just for everyone's benefit, I'm going to share my screen and kind of walk you through that blog post because I do think it will be helpful for everyone here. So let me see where I posted it. So many awesome comments coming in on the Facebook group. If you guys have any questions, I just actually, while I was at ballet with my daughter today, met someone and she joined our group, and I told her to ask because this is such an amazing group of people who want to help each other, and I said it's a great place to ask your question because that's what we're here for. If you guys haven't noticed, Rachel, shout out to Rachel, she does an amazing job helping in our Facebook group, kind of monitoring and making sure all your questions get answered. So she's in there every day. So thank you, Rachel, for all your work. But we really want to make it a place where you can ask questions and get the support that you need. So that's what this is all about. So this was the comment to Stephanie: 10 signs you should become an entrepreneur. So this is important. This is a blog post we have on Classy Career Girl. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can Google it, probably Google it later and find it. But this is important because I didn't know that I had an entrepreneurial personality. I didn't plan to become an entrepreneur whatsoever. I know some people are like, oh, being an entrepreneur, you just know when you are. And I did not know. I was not planning to be. My parents had, that was not the plan for my parents. They did not encourage me to become an entrepreneur whatsoever. They, it was get a nice job, graduate college, get a house, get married. Like I had just, the goals I had were just very like the normal goals. I never planned to go outside of my comfort zone and start a business. Or to have my husband, this was not in our vows to have a business together, and somehow here we are. So that's the magic of marriage, right? You just never know what path you're going to take. So all that being said, I even got my MBA, and I didn't know that I wanted to start a business while I was in my MBA. But at the very end, we had to do a project. And I started realizing there were most of the people in my class wanted to start a business. And I was in a project with another guy who had a business, and I was doing the business plan for him. He wanted me to do the business plan for him, which at first I was like, wait, this is already your business? Don't you have a business plan? And he's like, no, like, can you do it for me? And so right there, I started realizing like, okay, people are asking me to do their business plans. That means I could create my own business plan. And I started it opened my mind up to opportunities of like problems that I could solve with a business. And that's really where it all started. It was just like a light switch of like, oh, okay, maybe I could be an entrepreneur. And so the questions on the screen right now will kind of help you see if maybe you do have a personality to become an entrepreneur. Is it important for you to accomplish something meaningful with your life? Do you typically set both short-term and long-term goals? Do you usually meet those goals? Are you self-disciplined? Because being an entrepreneur, like I said, I'm working tonight. Like when you need to work, you're working, and you have to be very focused on the goals. Do you have the work experience in the type of business that you wish to start? Are you willing to work hard to acquire new skills? I just bought a course yesterday. Like I'm always learning. You can't stop learning when you're an entrepreneur. Do you usually stick with a project until it's completed? Do you like to be in control of your work environment? That's me. Do you enjoy working on your own? Do you take full responsibility for your successes and your failures? And the last one, can you afford to lose money to invest in your business, or do you have savings in place to start your new business? So important. You can't, yeah, I'll just leave it right there. It's very, very important to, build to slowly work on having that savings, set aside so you know that you'll be okay when you do quit your day job. So that's a whole nother topic. When we do open Love Your Career Formula tomorrow, we will have a special bonus. We're going to be giving out a ticket to Side Hustle School, which for those of you who are thinking like Stephanie, but what's the business reality assessment? Should I start a business? Do I have the entrepreneur personality? Side Hustle School will help put you in the right direction of whether that's right for you as well. So that's something to look forward to. So stay tuned for tomorrow's announcement to see what that's all about, so you can get that bonus as well. So let me check in with the Facebook group and see, it looks like we had a lot of, hi Crystal, having supportive people is important. I'm glad I'm here. And the Get Unstuck blueprint is on my wall. That is awesome. I love that. I so love that. You guys know I am all about things on the wall. I love like inspiring quotes you guys want to see. I have blogger's gonna blog. She believes she could, so she did. I have my initial but coffee first. So those are new additions to the background space. But I'm all about like inspiring words and images, and like that's your personal brand, and that's what motivates you. And so I love. And see, even that one has like a ton of like quotes and everything on it too. So I love putting that stuff on the wall, things you're working on. I know when I was starting, I put my 90-day plan right above me as well. Okay, so I'm going to check our Facebook Live, and I'm going to see what we've got going, if we have any questions coming in on Facebook Live, because I know we usually have a lot of you guys listening on Facebook. So thanks for all of your support. So we're trying a new time here. We're totally testing out times here, switching it up. 7 Pacific is a very different time than we've done in the past. Usually we're earlier in the day. So let me know if you like this time. Jen, hi Jen. Hello. Hillary's with us. Hey Hillary. Laura's with us from the Philippines. Hey Laura. Crystal, hey Crystal. Jen says, hey Anna, I know a lot of people who have a business that would be considered MLM. Is Get Unstuck or even LICF a good fit to help them develop those businesses? So that's a good question. Love Your Career Formula is really for you if you're debating like what type of career you should go into, or what type of business. Like you're kind of at the starting point of like, I have no idea what I want to do. So you might have an MLM, but you're not sure. Like I know so many people like this. You have an MLM. So for those that don't know, it's a multi-level marketing. I actually don't even know. MLM. Okay, someone tell me the initials of MLM. Anyways, I know what it is. It's a network marketing, multi-level. No, there's no N. It's a network marketing business. Either way, even if you have a business, any type of business, MLM, or any type of business or careers, if you're evaluating whether that's the right path for you to still go on, is that something you still want to do? Do you still want it? You're selling other people's products. Like, do you want to have your own products or services as well in addition to it? So it's that explore phase in Love Your Career Formula is really for someone who's evaluating what the heck they should do with their life going forward. Multi-level marketing. Okay, so I said it. I think I said it. I just didn't realize that those were the initials. Yes, network marketing. But for someone who is ready, who knows they want to grow their business and is ready to grow a business, then Love Your Career Formula might not be the right fit because Love Your Career Formula is really for someone who is in the beginning stages of starting their business and really making those first steps. And then as Jen knows, we do have another membership site called Corporate Rescue Plan. And that's really a great fit for women who want to grow their business, like ready to jumpstart their business immediately. So it's kind of like we have a lot of women who start in Love Your Career Formula. That's probably one of the most popular places to start, is because that's going to help you figure out like, what the heck should I do with my life? It's going to give you that clarity, the confidence, the direction, help you set up what your goals are, your vision, help you get your time management on track. And then once they go through Love Your Career Formula, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to start a business. And then they move into Corporate Rescue Plan. And Corporate Rescue Plan is really for women who want to grow businesses while working their day jobs, or really expand and grow their current business, which is a completely different chat. And we can have it. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. But that's what that is. But good question. But I do know a lot of people in MLM they're in it because they're searching and they're trying to figure out if that's the right path, if that's what they should do. So if that's that person that you're talking about, then Love Your Career Formula is for them. Like, are they loving it? Are they happy and fulfilled? And that's what that's all about. Okay, let me check and make sure and see if there's any other questions that have come in. Awesome, Jan's with us. Hey Jan. John's with us. Hey. Awesome. Okay, well, I think that's it for this evening. Thank you all for joining me. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. Make sure you mark your calendar, check in with us in the Facebook group, check your email, because that is when the exciting part is going to happen. We're going to be up late tonight preparing for it, and it's really exciting. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye, everyone.